Hey, what's up, everybody? How you doing? It's me again, and we are going to be doing something a little bit different today. I'm going to be using Chat GPT to play Baldur's Gate 3. And now, before we get started, I understand that there is a controversy surrounding AI use and plagiarism and all that stuff. And I just want to tell you that I sincerely hear your concerns. And with that, I'm going to play with AI and have a fun time. So, anyway, yeah, I'm playing Oblivion music because it feels fitting, because this is going to be janky as hell. I did a little test run with this, and it was pretty hilarious. It was pretty hilarious. So, let's go ahead and do this. So the prompt, I'm copying this off of the prompt that I used last time. So I'm going to say, let's play a Baldur's Gate 3 scenario game. You tell me what happens, and I'll tell you what I do in response to progress the story. Keep your responses short and to the point, and let me make every decision for my character. Oops. Character. I will play as Tav. I'm going to say a level 1 sorcerer, waking up on the beach after the Nautiloid crashes. Okay, so this shit's going to go off the rails, but I'm basically going to yes and Chat GPT. So whatever janky shit it says that is not true about Baldur's Gate, we're just going to go ahead and roll with it. All right. We're just going to see what happens. All right. So, Chat GPT. Tav, you wake up on the beach after the Nautiloid crashes. You see strange tentacle-like appendages emerging from a nearby shipwreck. What do you do? I'm going to say, let's look for some origin characters. I'm going to say, I look around for other survivors of the Nautiloid crash. Let's see. You scan the beach and find a few survivors, battered and disoriented. A Githyanki warrior, hell yeah. A tiefling cleric. See, this is the funny thing, is I did this before, and it gets details about the characters wrong, but I think it's funny. And a human wizard are among them. What's your next move? Okay, so I'm gonna go up. I go up and talk to the Githyanki warrior and ask if they're okay. Okay. The Githyanki warrior introduces herself as Lae'zel. Hell yeah, my babe. She's injured but stable. She mentions a crashed ship nearby that may have supplies. Do you join her in exploring the ship, or do you do something else? I'm gonna say... I say to her, just between you and me, that human wizard over there looks like a massive dweeb. What do you think? I'm gonna say respond with the character dialogue. I'm gonna say that because I think what'll do a lot is it'll be like, she says blank, but I want it to actually like talk as if they're the characters, you know what I mean? Alright. Lae'zel glances at the human wizard and smirks. Dweeb or not, we might need all the help we can get. Let's focus on survival for now. She then starts heading toward the crashed ship. What's your response? I'm gonna say, I go to the tiefling cleric and ask if they're coming with. Alright. The tiefling cleric Shadowheart. See, this is what I'm saying. It gets like races and shit wrong. It's kind of funny though. The tiefling cleric Shadowheart nods and says, I'll come along, stick close, and let's see what we can salvage from that ship. You, Lae'zel, and Shadowheart head toward the crashed ship. As you approach, you notice a hatch leading inside. What do you do? I'm going to say, wait a sec. I want to bring that dweeb wizard along for the ride, too. Alright, let's see what it says. You backtrack to the wizard and invite him to join the exploration of the crashed ship. This wizard, Gale, eagerly agrees. I'm not one to pass up an opportunity for knowledge. Lead the way. What a dweeb. The group now consisting of Tav, Lae'zel, Shadowheart, and Gale proceeds to the hatch. What's your next move? I'm gonna say, I say, guys, you might want to see this. And point to the hatch. The group gathers around, and you notice a strange tadpole-shaped mark on each of your foreheads. What the hell? Is this like Harry Potter? Lae'zel curses. We're infected! We need to find a way to remove these tadpoles before it's too late. The urgency is palpable. What's your plan? I say, damn, that's some Harry Potter shit, if I knew what that meant. Lae'zel scowls. No time for jokes. I'm not joking. We need to find a solution fast. Let's explore the ship and see if we can find anything helpful. The group enters the ship through the hatch. Inside, dimly lit corridors lead deeper into the vessel. What's your next move? I say to the group, we might want to be stealthy, but TBH, I don't have proficiency in that. Alright. Gale chuckles. Stealth or not, let's stick together and proceed cautiously. We don't know what dangers lie ahead. The group agrees to move carefully through the corridors. As you explore, you hear strange sounds echoing through the ship. What's your reaction? I piss my pants just a little, but try to play it off as sweat. You manage to keep your composure, despite the unsettling sounds. Lae'zel smirks. Save the fear for when it's truly necessary. Stay focused. The group continues deeper into the ship. Suddenly, you encounter a group of hostile goblins. What do you do? Okay, so I'm going to try to... I mean, I can basically say I can do anything, because the game... I mean, the Chat GPT is not going to call me on, like, you're a level 1 sorcerer, you can't do that. But I'm going to try to be true to myself. I'm going to say... so we encounter a group of hostile goblins. What do you do? I'm going to say... I stop my party members from walking forward and say, bogeys up ahead, fellas. Let's come up with a plan. I can cast a sleep spell to put some of these mofos to sleepsies. To Betty by boo time. And then, Lae'zel, you can go up and just and murk all of them while they're sleeping. Shadowheart, you can't... Shadowheart and Gale, you just sit on your pretty asses and wait for the adults to take care of this. Alright, this is going swimmingly. Lae'zel smirks at your plan. Finally, a use for your magic. Shut up, I just started, come on. Fine, cast your sleep spell, and I'll handle the rest. You prepare to cast the sleep spell. What's your strategy for placing the spell to affect as many goblins as possible? I'm gonna say... That's an interesting question. I don't know what that even means. I mean, I guess I could... Okay, just a sec. I cast Magic Missile first to soften 3 of them up. Then I cast Sleep, since they'll have fewer hit points. I don't know. And hope to put as many to sleep as possible. Alright, good shit, good shit. You cast Magic Missile, hitting 3 goblins and weakening them. Following up, you cast Sleep, causing the weakened goblins to succumb to slumber. Lae'zel takes advantage of the situation, swiftly dispatching the remaining goblins. The encounter is over. What do you do next? Alright, obviously, I search the goblins for anything of value or any clue that could tell us where they came from. Okay. You search the goblins and find a few crude weapons, a small amount of gold, and a strange insignia that might indicate their origin. Lae'zel examines it and says, "These goblins might be part of a larger group. We should be cautious. Let's press on and see if we can find more information." The group continues deeper into the ship. Anything specific you want to investigate or do? I'm going to say, I look for any clues about how to cure our little tadpole problem. Okay. As you explore the ship, you come across a chamber with arcane symbols and a mysterious pool of liquid. Gale, the wizard, examines it and says, "This place looks like a place of magical significance. Really? Perhaps we could find the solution for our tadpole problem here." Investigating further, you discover a hidden compartment containing a vial of glowing liquid. What's your next move? I say, "Oh, really, Gale? What tipped you off that this place would have magical significance? Was it the giant flying octopus monster? You dipshit?" Gale looks unfazed by your comment and responds, "Intuition, my friend. Sometimes you just feel the magic in the air." He then examines the vial closely. "This might be a potential cure. Let's hope for the best. What do you want to do with the vial?" I say, "Let me see that real quick." If he gives it to me, I will slip some wyvern toxin into it and hand it back and say, "Alright, test this for us, Gale." Gale hands you the vial, trusting your intentions. As you slip the wyvern toxin into it, he takes it back, unaware of the alteration. "Here goes nothing," he says and drinks the concoction. Moments pass, and Gale seems unaffected. Well, that was anticlimactic. Let's keep searching for a real solution. The group continues exploring the ship. What the hell? What's your next move? Ah, foiled. I wanted to get Gale out of here. Alright, what's your next move? I say, "You know what? I don't know that we're really gonna find anything in here. I think we should look for help elsewhere. Do any of you know where we actually are?" Alright. Lae'zel nods. Agreed. The ship won't provide all the answers. We need to find civilization and seek assistance. See, Lae'zel knows what's up. She's my little boo thing. As for our location, we should try to find a vantage point to survey the surroundings. There might be a settlement nearby. The group decides to head toward the upper deck of the ship to get a better view. What's your plan as you ascend? What's my plan as I ascend? I'm just gonna say, I'll go up and check for any sign of civilization with the higher vantage point. That's a good plan. You climb up the upper deck and scan the horizon. In the distance, you spot smoke rising and what appears to be structures, possibly a settlement. Lae'zel points in the same direction. There, we might find help there. Let's make our way to that settlement. The group heads in the direction of the potential civilization. As you travel, you can't shake the feeling that more challenges lie ahead. What's your mindset as you move forward? I am enamored. I don't know what I had with you. Enamored with Lae'zel, my honey boo thing. But honestly, I'm not feeling these other two squares. You know what I mean? As you journey towards the settlement, your bond with Lae'zel grows stronger. However, the dynamics with Shadowheart and Gale seem less appealing. You keep a watchful eye on the group dynamics as you approach the potential settlement. What approach do you take as you near the unknown civilization? I stop us before we reach the settlement. I say, guys, we need a cover story. We can't just say that we crashed out, we fell from the sky. That would be ridiculous. My cover is that I'm the president of Baldur's Gate 3. Lae'zel raises an eyebrow. President of Baldur's Gate? Bold choice. I suppose I'll be your bodyguard then. Shadowheart sighs. Fine, I'll be your secretary. And what about Gale? Gale grins. I'll be your trusted advisor, of course. The group, now with their makeshift cover story, proceeds toward the settlement. How do you approach the locals with your presidential entourage? I say, hear ye, hear ye. The president of Baldur's Gate 3 approaches. Unfortunately, my guy who usually announces me died in an accident, so I have to do it myself, but I need all of your spare cash, please. The locals look at you with a mix of confusion and amusement. Some chuckle while others exchange puzzled glances. One brave soul approaches and hands you a few copper coins, saying, "For the entertainment, President. Welcome to our settlement." The group manages to blend in, albeit with questionable success. What's your plan now that you're in the settlement? I take a look around and analyze the populace, aka my subjects, my future subjects. Alright. Observing the populace, you see a mix of races and occupations. Merchants, farmers, and a few guards are among the crowd. The settlement appears relatively peaceful, with people going about their daily lives. No immediate signs of hostility or recognition of your presidential status. What specific details or individuals are you keen on noticing? I'm going to look for the biggest guy, and I'm going to call him a... No. let's hold off on it. I'm going to look for the person who seems like they're in charge and say, "Hey man, go take 30. I'll cover for you." Alright, alright. You spot a well-dressed individual who seems to be overseeing activities in the settlement. Approaching them, you deliver your message. "Hey man, go take 30. I'll cover for you." The person looks at you quizzically, but decides to take a break. You're now in a position where you could potentially interact with the settlement more freely. What's your plan? I turn to Gale. Well, no, I turn to my fellow man, and I point to Gale and say, "This man, he may look innocuous. I don't know how to spell that, so I'm not going to say that. He may look harmless, but he is really a champion of the absolute, and we should throw him in jail immediately. I command this as your president. Presidential stand-in. Thank you." Alright, let's see what happens. The settlement folks exchange confused glances, but seem to take your presidential command seriously. A couple of guards approach Gale cautiously, ready to escort him to jail. Gale protests, what is the meaning of this? I'm innocent. Lae'zel smirks while Shadowheart rolls her eyes. The settlement is abuzz with whispers about your unexpected decree. What's your next move in this peculiar political drama? I turn to the other two and say, thank God that dweeb is gone. Alright, now let's try to find a cure and potentially rob these folk blind in the process. What say ye? Alright. Lae'zel grins. Finally, a plan I could get behind. Lead the way, President. This is going sweet. This is going swimmingly. Shadowheart sighs, but follows along, and the group, now minus Gale, sets out to explore the settlement in search of a cure and potential riches. How do you plan to proceed with your unconventional quest in this unsuspecting settlement? I go up to the oldest townsfolk I can find, and I ask, hey, do you know where we can find a healer? Alright. Excuse me. The elderly townsfolk look at you with a mix of curiosity and concern. A healer? Well, you might want to visit the temple on the outskirts. Brother Mending Hands, well, that's a little on the nose, tends to the wounded there. Just follow the main path and you can't miss it. The townsfolk point in the direction of the temple. What's your next move? I ask, was he born with that name? Or did he change that name? Change his name. That's a little on the nose, don't you think? I'm curious. I just want to know what they say. The townsfolk chuckles. Oh, Brother Mending Hands? That's the name he took upon joining the clergy. They have a thing for symbolic names, you know. Anyway, good luck on your quest, President. The group heads toward the temple to seek out Brother Mending Hands. Anything specific you want to do or ask when you reach the temple? I go up to the first person I see and I say, hey, we're looking for Brother Mending or Healing Feet. Have you seen him? The temple acolyte looks at you with a puzzled expression. Brother Healing Feet? No, we have Brother Mending Hands here. I don't know about any healing feet. Are you sure you're in the right place? The acolyte gestures toward the interior of the temple. What's your response? I say, oh, sorry. Must have gotten mixed up. That was just wishful thinking. Winky face. Anyway, yeah, we're looking for that guy. Tell me where he is before I die. And, there we go. The acolyte gives you a concerned look. I understand the urgency. Brother Mending Hands is in the back chambers, attending to the wounded. Just follow the hallway and you'll find him there. May the gods guide you. The group heads towards the back chambers of the temple in search of Brother Mending Hands. What's your approach as you enter the healing area? I go there and I say, Brother Mending Hands, my name is Dr. Toe Heals. Shit, sorry. That's not, anyway. Dr. Toe Heals. Can you get a tadpole out of our heads, please? Brother Mending Hands, a kind-looking cleric, raises an eyebrow at your introduction. Dr. Toe Heals, you say? I'm not familiar with that title, but I'll do my best to help. Tadpoles, you say? Let me examine you. He examines the marks on your forehead and nods gravely. These are troubling indeed. I will do what I can to assist you. Please lie down on the healing beds. The group complies. What's your next move as Brother Mending Hands begins his examination? I ask, is this gonna hurt? Honestly, I'm so afraid of needles, and if you pull one out, I may faint. TBH, not gonna lie. Alright. What is that? Might violate the content policy? Is it really? What do you mean? It just says needles. What the fuck? Anyway, Brother Mending Hands reassures you, fear not, Dr. Toe Heals. I won't be using any needles. The healing process may feel unusual, but it's necessary to cleanse the infection. Trust in the divine guidance. He begins the healing ritual, and you feel a tingling sensation as he channels his divine energy. The process is discomforting, but not painful. After a few moments, Brother Mending Hands finishes. There, the divine light should help. You may feel a bit weak, but rest assured, the tadpole's influence has been lessened. What's your reaction? I say, lessened? What am I paying you for? I need these mofos gonzos. Brother Mending Hands chuckles. Patience, Dr. Toe Heals. Complete removal of such curses is a delicate process. The treatment is a step towards cleansing. You'll need some time to recover. If you have patience, we can continue the healing process later. The group is now in a temporary state of relief. What's your plan for the immediate aftermath of the healing? I turn to Shadowheart and say, man, if only we had some sort of magical artifact that could shield our brains / tadpoles from the influences of some form of elder brain that was that was powered by an imprisoned Githyanki prince who fell from grace and is being framed by the currently instated leader. Would you happen to have anything like that on your possession? Shadowheart looks at you with a raised eyebrow. Magical artifacts with imprisoned Githyanki princes? That sounds like quite the specific request. Unfortunately, I don't have anything of that sort. Where did you even come up with such a specific idea? The group, now with a slightly diminished tadpole influence, contemplates their next steps. What's your plan moving forward? I say, really now? Well, what's that in your pocket? Looks awfully, that's not a real name. Awfully, that's not a real word. Awfully, artifact-shaped. Wouldn't you say, Lae'zel? Lae'zel eyes Shadowheart's pocket with suspicion. Shadowheart defensively responds, it's just a trinket, nothing more. Certainly not a magical artifact with an imprisoned Githyanki prince. Don't be ridiculous. The atmosphere becomes tense. What's your next move in this exchange between party members? I whisper to Lae'zel, this bitch is full of barnacles. How do you spell barnacles? Barnacles. Networks of regenerate. What the fuck? Yep. Okay, there we go. Lae'zel smirks at your comment and whispers back, agreed, let's keep an eye on her. We could deal with any barnacles later. She didn't understand the terminology. She hasn't watched SpongeBob growing up. The group, now with a hint of mistrust among its members, contemplates their next actions. What's your plan moving forward in this unfolding drama? I say, okay, I guess we'll go set up camp. Even though everyone here thinks we're the president or whatever, I still want to go camping with my boys because that's just wholesome, good fun, wouldn't you say? Despite the tensions and strange circumstances, the group agrees to set up camp. You find a suitable spot on the outskirts of the settlement. As you prepare the campfire, the atmosphere lightens a bit. Lae'zel grumbles, camping with the president? Never thought I'd see the day. Shadowheart remains silent, and how's Gale get back? Gale seems lost in thought. What's your approach? What's your approach to the camp setup, and do you have any specific conversations or activities in mind? I turn to Gale and say, "What? How the hell did you get here? I thought we got you thrown in jail." Gale looks at you with a sly grin. "Ah, my dear President, I have a knack for getting out of tight spots. It seems they realized the error of their ways and released me. No jail can hold Gale the Magnificent for long." Lae'zel scoffs. "Magnificent or not, keep your wits about you. We're in this together, whether we like it or not." The group settles around the campfire. Anything specific you want to discuss or do during this moment of respite? I say to Gale, "I hope you know that wasn't personal. I just thought it would be funny, and honestly, whoops, after today, I needed the chuckle. And I didn't think they would execute you or anything. Probably 20 years of manual labor tops, which is fine." Okay. Gale chuckles. "Ah, a bit of jest in the face of adversity. I can appreciate that. No hard feelings, President. As for the manual labor, I'll pass. Let's focus on finding a way to rid ourselves of these tadpoles and unravel the mysteries of this place." The conversation shifts towards the ongoing challenges and mysteries ahead. What's your plan for the rest of the evening at camp? I turn to Shadowheart and say, "I know your secrets," and glare at her. Shadowheart meets your gaze with a mix of suspicion and curiosity. "Secrets, President? Care to elaborate?" Lae'zel leans in, intrigued by the exchange. The atmosphere becomes tense again. How do you proceed with this revelation? I say, "First off, you can really stop calling me President. It's kind of getting redundant and is bad writing, TBH. But secondly, you are harboring an artifact that could be of great use for us. I saw you pocket it back on the Nautiloid. And I think you're hiding it for some reason." Here we go. Good way to get it. Just accuse her. Shadowheart's expression tightens. "You're mistaken. I don't have any artifact." "What are you talking about?" Lae'zel crosses her arms, eyeing Shadowheart with suspicion. The tension in the camp grows. How do you handle this confrontation among your party members? I say, "Alright," hello Gus. My kitty Gus has decided to join me right now. I say, "Alright, I completely believe you because honestly, I just want to make some s'mores and roast a couple weenies with my boys. Excluding Gale. He ate one of my homies." Alright. Let's see what he says. Your sudden shift in tone catches Shadowheart off guard. She raises an eyebrow, but decides not to press the matter further. The group begins to prepare a makeshift feast around the campfire. Lae'zel grumbles. "S'mores and weenies? What kind of presidential feast is this?" Gale laughs. "Sometimes even leaders need a break. I'm in for some weenies." The campsite transforms into an unusual mix of tension and camaraderie. Excuse me. What's your approach for the rest of the evening with your eclectic group? I say, "You know, I don't think I told you my name yet. My name is Tav. It's sort of like chav, but it isn't. The group nods. Okay, I guess I gotta put you over in your chair. Sorry, buddy. You're distracting me. Sorry, buddy. Alright, you're going over there. The group nods in acknowledgement. Lae'zel smirks. Tav, the president who enjoys weenies and s'mores. Quite the title. Gale adds, a name with character. I like it. The evening continues with laughter, food, and a semblance of camaraderie. As the night progresses, the group settles down for rest, each with their thoughts and uncertainties about the challenges that lie ahead. What's your mindset as you drift to sleep? I am repeating a mantra as I fall asleep. I'm the shit. I'm the shit. Don't forget. I'm the shit. And then I fall asleep like a little baby. Excellent. As you drift into slumber, your self-affirming mantra echoes in your mind. The events of the day, filled with strange encounters and unexpected turns, fade away. In the embrace of the night, Tav, the self-proclaimed president, dreams of the adventures that await. The campsite remains peaceful, at least for the moment. What dreams or visions fill your restful sleep? I dream of me and Lae'zel. No, I shan't say it. But let's just say green goblin. Your dreams take an unexpected turn into a realm of fantasy and mischief. The mysterious connection between you and Lae'zel becomes a whimsical and green-hued escapade in the dream world. As the dream unfolds, you find yourself waking up to a new day in the fantastical world of Baldur's Gate 3. What adventures await Tav and the unlikely presidential entourage? I say to my companions, ah, what a restful night's sleep in Baldur's Gate 3 TM. I think we should go look for more people who share our shared affliction. Namely, maybe a vampire rogue kinda guy. IDK, just a guess. Your companions exchange glances at the mention of a vampire rogue. Lae'zel smirks. Vampire rogue? You have an interesting imagination, Tav. But it leads to more potential allies, or if it leads to more potential allies or information about our predicament, I'm in. Shadowheart sighs. Ah, that fucking whiny bitch. We're already a peculiar group. Adding a vampire rogue won't make things any more ordinary. Gale looks thoughtful. Who knows what awaits us in this strange land? Let's explore and see what we can find. The group agrees to venture forth in search of potential allies and answers. What's your strategy for exploring this unfamiliar territory? I look for exsanguinated... How do you spell that? Sanguinated... no. I'm going to say that's about right. I don't fucking know. It'll know what I mean. Boars and the like. Signs of a vampire going feast mode on the local wildlife sicko style. You begin your exploration by searching for signs of exsanguinated boars or other evidence of a vampire's presence. As you move through the surroundings, you do come across a few carcasses with peculiar bite marks, hinting at a potential vampire in the vicinity. Lae'zel raises an eyebrow. Looks like our vampire rogue might not just be a figment of your imagination, Tav. What's your approach to further investigate or follow these signs? I turn to Lae'zel and say, call it a hunch, honey boo. That's you. I think that you should leave and I'll lay down as bait to try to get this vampire MF to come feed on me. I have an insanely shredded neck for some reason that will be irresistible. Oh wait, irresistible to... Can I not spell? Yeah, there we go. To the average vampire. You wouldn't... Nah, okay. I'm just gonna say that. Alright. Lae'zel looks at you with a mix of concern and amusement. You want to be bait? Bold move, Tav. But I won't let you face a potential vampire alone. I'll stay close, just in case things take a turn for the worse. The group positions themselves strategically, with you offering yourself as bait. The air becomes tense as you wait to see if your hunch about a vampire rogue pays off. What's your plan if the vampire decides to take the bait? I will act like I'm asleep, but as soon as he comes to drink my blood, I'll wake up and scream spaghetti. Spook? Yeah, didn't I? And he'll be so taken aback that I'll swipe the dagger from his belt and then and then go from there. IDK, I haven't thought, Jesus Christ, thought that far ahead, honestly. As you lay there pretending to be asleep, you sense a presence approaching. Suddenly the air grows colder and a figure emerges. A vampire rogue with a hunger in his eyes. As he leans in to bite you, you execute your plan, shouting, "Spaghetti!" The vampire recoils in surprise, allowing you to swiftly grab the dagger from his belt. The campsite is filled with tension as you face the unexpected guest. What's your next move in this encounter with the vampire rogue? I hand him back his dagger and say, honestly, I just thought that would be some cool shit to do. You can have this back. I really want a vampire friendo. Smiley face. The vampire rogue, taken aback by your unexpected reaction, eyes you cautiously. You hand back the dagger and express your desire for a vampire friend. He smirks. Well, you're a peculiar one, aren't you? Most mortals don't offer friendship after a spook attempt. The tension eases as the vampire seems amused rather than hostile. Lae'zel and the rest of the group watch the scene unfold. What's your approach to potentially befriending the vampire rogue? I say, what's your name, my good man? And my, what beautiful white hair you have, although it could never compare to the theoretical green lady who actually has my heart if she were to exist lying in wait in the shadows. This is just a normal compliment between bros. Yeah, no. Rogue chuckles at your unusual compliment. I appreciate the sentiment. Names are a bit tricky for my kind, but you can call me Noctis? What the fuck? I thought this was Astarion, bro. We got a knockoff Astarion named Noctis? What the fuck? Yeah, battle music coming on because I'm gonna stab this guy through the heart. As for your theoretical green lady, it sounds like an interesting tale. What brings you to seek the company of vampires, Tav? Noctis seems intrigued, and the group watches with varying degrees of curiosity. How do you explain your unusual motives to Noctis? I say, wait, are you sure that's really your name? I thought it might start with, like, I don't know, an A or something. Noctis raises an eyebrow. Eyebrow. I keep saying eyebrow. Well, my kind tend to choose names to reflect our nature. Noctis suits me just fine, but feel free to call me whatever you like. He seems amused by your curiosity. Excuse me. Lae'zel mutters, a vampire with a naming convention. This is getting stranger by the moment. What's your response to Noctis, and how do you proceed with this unexpected encounter? I say, honestly, man, I'm just going to call you Astarion, and I'll attempt to gaslight him into thinking he's Astarion, because that would be funny. Noctis raises an eyebrow, seemingly unaffected by your attempt at gaslighting. Astarion, you say? Well, if that's the name you prefer, I suppose I could play along. He smirks, clearly aware of the game. Lae'zel looks at you with an incredulous expression. What's your plan now that you bestowed the name Astarion upon the vampire rogue? I say, okay, Astarion, you should just come with us. Come hang with us as we get into all sorts of wild and silly shenanigans. Also, you wouldn't happen to be infected with some sort of, I don't know, mind flayer tadpole or the like? Astarion considers your invitation. Shenanigans, you say? Well, I'm always up for a bit of chaos. He then pauses at your question about the mind flayer tadpoles. Mind flayer tadpoles? No, I'm not burdened by such things. But I've encountered them before. Nasty business. The group now with an unexpected vampire companion contemplates the unfolding dynamics. What's your next move in this peculiar adventure with Astarion? I say, wait a sec. Isn't this broad daylight? Shouldn't you be burning alive? I thought the fact that you weren't was some kind of unexplained side effect of the tadpole that Larian Studios would use as an excuse to not have you die in the sunlight so that you could actually be a practical companion. Astarion smirks. Ah, the mysteries of narrative convenience. Let's just say I have my ways of dealing with daylight. It wouldn't be much of an adventure if I burst into flames every time the sun rises, now would it? His response leaves room for speculation. Lae'zel remains skeptical, while Gale seems fascinated by the enigmatic vampire rogue. What's your approach to this newfound companion's peculiar relationship with daylight? I say, you know, beats the hell out of me. But, yeah, let's go. I think we should ask around town to see if there's, like, a goblin camp nearby or something. I don't know. Just seems like a logical first step for a group of level 1 characters, you feel? Either that or, like, a mine infested with kobolds. Alright, here we go. The group agrees with your logical approach. Astarion nods. Goblin camps or kobold-infested mines, classic starting points for adventures. Lead the way, Tav. This should be interesting. The party, now including the unconventional vampire rogue Astarion, sets out to gather information about potential goblin camps or kobold-infested mines in the area. What's your strategy for gathering intel from the locals? I say, have you seen any goblins? To literally everyone, including toddlers, and see what answers I get. You approach various individuals in the settlement, from adults to toddlers, asking if they've seen any goblins around. The responses vary from confused looks to occasional pointing in a general direction. One child excitedly mentions a scary cave where they heard there might be goblins. The group gathers the information and prepares to investigate the rumored goblin-infested cave. What's your plan as you head towards the potential goblin location? I go to the local trader and ask, hey, do you have any anti-goblin spray? The local trader looks at you with a bemused expression. Anti-goblin spray? Can't say I've heard of such a thing. You might find weapons or potions are more practical for dealing with goblins. I do have some basic supplies if you're interested. The trader gestures toward the available goods. What's your response, and do you consider purchasing any items before heading to the goblin-infested cave? I turn to Lae'zel and say, I hope this doesn't make you uncomfortable. Uncomfortable, there we go. Because I can spell. You know, you being green and all. So rolls her eyes at your comment. I'm not uncomfortable, Tav. Goblins and I share nothing but a few shades of green. Let's focus on getting what we need and dealing with the actual threat. The group decides whether to purchase any items before proceeding to the goblin-infested cave. What's your approach to the trader's goods? And do you have any specific needs in mind? I buy 300 feet of rope. Because that's what adventurers do, baby. Alright. You purchase a substantial amount of rope, preparing for any adventurous situation that might require it. The trader, while a bit perplexed by the quantity, accepts the transaction. Lae'zel smirks. Planning on tying up some goblins, Tav? Oh my goodness. The group, now equipped with an abundance of rope, heads towards the rumored goblin-infested cave. What's your mindset as you approach the potential danger that lies ahead? I wink at Lae'zel and say, maybe we'll have some left over for later. Wink, wink. And I say the words wink, wink instead of actually winking, which is awkward. Chat GPT taking a minute with that one. Lae'zel raises an eyebrow at your awkward attempt. Wink, wink indeed. Let's focus on the task at hand, Tab. The group continues towards the goblin-infested cave, the atmosphere a mix of tension and humor. As you approach the cave entrance, what's your strategy for dealing with potential goblin threats? I turn to Gale and ask, yo, what you know about goblin? Gale thinks for a moment and responds, goblins are usually small, nimble creatures. They can be quite cunning and tend to favor ambush tactics. Watch out for traps and keep an eye on your surroundings. They're not known for their bravery, but their sheer numbers can pose a threat. Armed with this information, how do you plan to approach the potential goblin threat in the cave? I say to Gale, goblin on these nuts. This is so stupid, dude. What am I doing? Gale blinks at your unexpected remark, caught off guard. Lae'zel smirks, subtle as always, Tav. With a bit of humor injected into the situation, the group prepares to enter the goblin-infested cave. What's your approach as you venture into the darkness, ready to face whatever challenges lie ahead? I say, we should be as noisy as possible to eliminate suspicion. I can't spell this. Suspicion that we might be sneaking around. It's the ultimate double blind. No, that doesn't think that makes. It's the ultimate mind game. Also, my music has ended, so let me go ahead and bring that up again. All right, we start over, baby. All right, ultimate mind game. Here we go. The group, following your unconventional strategy, decides to be intentionally noisy as they enter the goblin-infested cave. Lae'zel grumbles, no sneaking, just barging in. I hope this mind game of yours works. The entrance echoes with your intentional noise as you proceed into the darkness. What's your mindset as you navigate the goblin-infested cave with your eclectic party and unconventional approach? You know what? I'll play for a few more minutes and then I'll probably be done. There's like a quota per day. I was wondering if I was going to hit that, but we're going to keep going for just a little bit longer. I want to keep the video about an hour. Anyway, I hope to find out if they worship some sort of entity called the Absolute, or the Whole, or the Totality, or something of that nature. As you explore deeper into the cave, you keep an ear out for any signs of goblins and hope to discover if they worship an entity known as the Absolute, the Whole, or the Totality. The group moves through the cavernous passages, occasionally encountering small groups of goblins. The encounters are not hostile, and the goblins seem surprised by your noisy approach. What's your plan for interacting with these goblins and finding information about their beliefs? I go up to one and say, hey, you see this lady here? Pointing at Lae'zel. She's like a super goblin, so you need to be straight with us. Are you worshipping some sort... How do I spell that wrong? Is it just... Okay. Some sort of strange deity? The goblin you approach looks at Lae'zel with a mix of awe and confusion. Super goblin? Never seen one before, it mumbles. As for deities, we follow the Absolute. It guides us, gives us purpose. Powerful force it is. The goblin seems earnest in its response. Lae'zel raises an eyebrow, clearly unimpressed with the goblin's perception of her as a super goblin. What's your next move in gathering information about the goblin's worship of the Absolute? I tell him, we worship the Absolute as well, and we were looking for the head honcho here so that we could learn more about whether or not we're doing it right. I dunno. I just have a bit of imposter syndrome XD. Alright, here we go. The goblin looks intrigued by your claims of worshipping the Absolute. Fellow followers, eh? Head honcho usually stays deeper in the caves. You'll find the chamber of the High Shaman. Be careful, though. High Shaman doesn't like intruders. The goblin points you in the direction of the deeper caverns. Lae'zel gives you a skeptical glance, but goes along with the plan. What's your approach as you head toward the chamber of the High Shaman in search of more information about the goblin's beliefs? And I think right there, I think that's where I'm going to end it for today. This has been very stupid. I had a lot of fun with it, though. I always, love playing with Chat GPT. And I mean, I said at the beginning of the video, I understand the negative view that people have on AI, and I totally understand it. And honestly, I share a lot of the same concerns with you. But I think using it like this is relatively harmless and kind of fucking fun, honestly. Obviously, we're not exactly following the plot of Baldur's Gate. I'm kind of trying to guide it back in the direction there with my silly meta comments. But it's funny nonetheless. I'll try to pick up here next time, or maybe I'll just like start a new prompt and inject myself later in the story, you know, and try to get actually into the story here. But yeah, I mean, Shadowheart is a tiefling, which obviously isn't in the game. I have gaslit somebody into thinking they're Astarion. The entire tiefling town, you know, is now just some random place that I didn't even ask the name of. We're in a goblin cave, so obvious differences here, but it's fun to just have the characters in this stupid game. And, I mean, honestly, Chat GPT doesn't do that bad of a job either. It's kind of funny. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you like this, let me know, and maybe I'll do another one, because I have fun doing this shit. It's fun to just goof around with these fucking AI models, and if you want, you should give it a try, too. It's a good time. Anyway, peace. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.